Welcome to eDay18. Today is Thursday. We are going to continue on with our 3x3 systems of equations. There is nothing new in content today. Tonight's homework is going to be the evens. Yesterday you did the odds. I'm going to do two examples just to kind of have you guys refresh and kind of re-see and think of the problems one more time. Remember, I would like you to label your equations A, B, and C. This is so that you can keep your work organized, and as I'm looking at your work, I know which equation you are working on. You have to decide which variable to eliminate. I'm going to choose the z's this time, but maybe you would have chose the y's or even the x's. I'm going to choose the z. Pick two equations to work with. I'm going to first work with B and C. First thing I'm going to do is just rewrite them. And it turns out I don't need to multiply either equation by anything in order to get the z's to eliminate. So I'm going to add them up. I get 3x plus 2y, z's eliminate equals 4. And I'm going to box that answer. Now I need to eliminate the z again using two different equations. Yes, one of them will be repeated, but it's going to be two different equations. I'm going to choose A and B. So first off, I'm going to rewrite what A and B are. At this point, if you do wish to jump right into multiplying one of the equations, that's fine, but still off to the side, always tell me what you're multiplying by. If you're going to eliminate the z, we need to multiply equation B by 6. And you want to make sure you multiply every single term by 6. First thing I'm going to do is rewrite my A equation. I don't need to touch that. And my next equation I'm going to multiply by 6 gives me 12x plus 6y minus 6z equals 12. Now my equations are ready to add together to eliminate the z. When you add them together, you get 15x plus 15y, the z's eliminate, equals 15. Box that answer. Next, we're going to put those two equations together. The two things that we have boxed will come together, and we're going to do a simple 2x2 elimination with these. I'm going to stack them on top of each other first. At this point, you should hopefully feel comfortable with a 2x2 equation. We are going to eliminate, or I'm going to choose to eliminate my x's. So I'm going to multiply my first equation by -5. And when I multiply by -5 and distribute it to everything, my new equation is -15x minus 10y equals -20. And then I have 15x plus 15y equals 15, just rewriting that equation. Adding them together, my x's eliminate, and I get 5y equals -5. And when I divide by 5, my y is -1. That is one of our solutions. And now we're going to work backwards and work up to one of our boxed equations. I'm going to choose the one in red. I think that looks a little bit easier to work with. And I'm going to replace this time. We said y is -1. So I'm going to replace that y with -1. So 3x plus 2, replace that y with -1 equals 4. And then I have 3x minus 2 equals 4. Add 2 over to get 6. Divide by 3 to get 2. So now you have your x and your y. Come back to one of the original equations, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to choose the last equation. That looks the easiest to me. And I am going to rewrite it off to the side just to give myself some room. I'm going to replace my x with the 2, and I'm going to replace my y with the -1. So that would be 2 minus 1 plus z equals 2. And simplifying, you get 1 plus z equals 2. Subtract 1, and your z is 1. Write your final answer as an ordered triple. So your x value is 2, your y is -1, and your z is positive 1. That is your final answer. Let's do one more. All right, this next one, first off, just remember our steps. We are always going to label them A, B, and C. And what letter would you like to eliminate? I think I'm going to choose my Z this time. I see a lot of the opposite signs should work out very nicely. First thing I'm going to choose is equation A and B. So let's first rewrite the two equations. And they should be set up very nicely to eliminate. If you add them up, you get 2x plus 3y, z's eliminate, equals 12. Box that answer. Whoops. Next, we're going to pick two different equations. And I'm going to choose B and C because B and C have opposite signs. First, I'm just going to rewrite my equations, getting myself organized. And once you have the equations rewritten, the z's are going to automatically eliminate. So we're going to add, we get 3x plus 2y. The z's cancel, equals 13. And then we're going to put those two equations, or put that in a box, and bring our two equations together. This is now a 2 by 2 system. If you ever get to this step of a 2 by 2 equation and you have different variables, that means you did something wrong in the step above. You always want to eliminate the same variable in your first step so that when you come together in this 2 by 2 system, you have only two variables and they're the same. You choose which letter you're going to eliminate. I think I'm going to choose to eliminate my x. To eliminate my x, I need to multiply both equations by something. I'm going to multiply my first one by 3 and my second one by 2. Just make sure you distribute to everything. So negative 6x minus 9y equals negative 36. 6x plus 4y equals 26. Adding these together, your x's eliminate. You get negative 5y equals negative 10. And when you divide by negative 5, y is 2. Let's take that and work our way up. I'm going to use the purple equation on the left side, and I'm going to replace my y here with 2. And it doesn't matter which one you choose. Both are probably easy enough. So replacing with 2 equals 12. So 2x plus 6 equals 12. Subtract 6 to get 6. And divide by 2 to get 3. Now that you have your x, we're going to go back to one of the original equations. I think the middle equation looks the easiest to replace, and I'm going to replace my x with 3. I'm going to replace my y with 2, and I'm going to solve for my z. So x is 3, y is 2, and I'm going to solve for my z. So I have 5 plus z equals 6. Subtract 5, and z is 1. Your ordered triple, x, y, z is 3, 2, 1. And that is your final answer. Today's homework, very similar to what you did yesterday, it's going to be the evens of yesterday's assignments. If you have questions, please make sure that you contact me. I'm happy to help you with Zoom. If you feel like you're understanding, but some reason you got the wrong answer for a problem, just send me a picture of it. I'll locate where your mistake is, and we can continue from there. Tomorrow we will change this lesson just slightly because we'll have some missing variables, and tomorrow will be a worksheet.